Good afternoon. The time is 12 o'clock. Welcome to Champion World News at 12 from Radio Frequency 90.7. I am THERESA Adeyemi. In the news. Former head of state Buhari to be buried in Daura residence. APC celebrates enduring leadership legacy of Buhari. From the foreign scene, Israel military strike target Hezbollah's elites. Sport. Lagos ready for festival of table tennis. Now the new details. Garba Shehu, spokesperson of the former president Muhammadu Buhari, said the remains of the former leader would be buried in his Daura residence. Shehu told journalists that the graveyard was being dug at Buhari's residence. According to him, and I quote, the body left London by 7:48 a.m. and is expected after 7 hours. The graveyard is being dug. Buhari died on Sunday in a London hospital. Presidential Funeral Committee arrives Katsina ahead of Buhari's burial. The Presidential Inter-Ministerial Committee overseeing the state funeral for former President Muhammadu Buhari is arriving Katsina State, signaling the final preparations for the late leader's burial. Chaired by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, the committee is on ground to ensure a dignified and well-coordinated funeral ceremony. The committee comprises ministers including those of Finance, Budget and Economic Planning, Defense, Information and National Orientation, Works Interior, FCT, Housing and Urban Development, Health and Social Welfare, that is State, and Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. Also included are the National Secretary Advisor, Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, and the Chief of Defense Staff. The arrival comes as the body of former President Buhari is expected to arrive in Katsina by noon today, Tuesday, from London. The All Progressive Congress APC has expressed deep sorrow over the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari, describing him as a symbol of integrity and patriotism, whose legacy we endure for generations. In a statement released Sunday by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, APC praised Buhari's lifelong dedication to public service, his personal discipline, and his pivotal role in strengthening Nigeria's democracy. And I quote, Nigeria has lost an enigmatic leader, an iconic elder statesman, and an exemplary patriot, the statement read. His life of resistance, discipline, and unwavering service to the nation will remain evergreen in our national memory. End of quote. Buhari, who served as military head of state 1984 to 1985 and later as democratically elected president 2015 to 2023, died in London on Sunday at the age of 82 after a prolonged undisclosed illness. The APC praised Buhari's contribution as chairman of the Petroleum Trust Fund, his efforts in fighting corruption, and his rise from leading the Congress for Progressive Change to spearheading 2023 merger that formed the APC. First Lady departs Abuja for Buhari's funeral in Daura. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has departed Abuja for Daura, Katsina State to attend the state funeral of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The First Lady is expected to join other high-ranking government officials and dignitaries who have converged in Daura for the burial rite. The body of the late former president is scheduled to arrive in Katsina by midday today from London, with the event set to take place in Daura later this afternoon, according to Islamic rites. The Katsina command of the Nigerian Security and Defense Corps has deployed 2,800 operatives across strategic locations ahead of former President Muhammadu Buhari's burial on Tuesday, which is today. The NSCDC commandant in the state, Aminu Datu, disclosed these in a statement in Katsina on Monday. He said the deployment followed a directive by the NSCDC Commandant General Ahmad Abubakar Audu to ensure safety and security before, during, and after the burial. It says strategic deployment of personnel were done in Daura, Musa Yaradua International Airport, Katsina, Palace, the Emir of Katsina, Daura, and other sensitive areas. That he emphasized on certain operational strategies to include intensive surveillance, gathering credible intelligence community engagement, collaboration, and synergy with other security agencies. Women were seen gathering prayers as they await arrival of Buhari's body. An atmosphere of mourning and deep reverence has enveloped Daura, the hometown of the late former president. Muhammadu Buhari's group of women gathered at his private residence this morning. They came together to offer prayers and solemnly await the arrival of his body from London. The women will observe in organized rows inside and around the premises, engrossed in the recitation of verses from the Quran. A substantial contingent of security personnel, including members of the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Police Force, and the Department of State Services (DSS), have been deployed to the area. Security operatives had already barricaded the entrance leading to former president residence since early hours of the day, controlling access and ensuring order. In Ogun State, the Ogun State Police Command has arrested two suspects, Yunus Abdullahi and Peace Keno Danlami, in connection with the murder of a Chinese national, Chen Wang, who was allegedly stabbed to death in his office earlier this year. Wang, an employee of WH Great Resource Limited, Ogere, was killed on January 12, 2025. According to a statement released on Tuesday by the Force Public Relations Officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, and shared by the spokesperson for the Ogun State Command, CSP Omolola Odua, the victim suffered fatal stab wounds to the chest. The police stated that the incident, which occurred on January 12, 2025, drew immediate attention when the Ogun State Police Command received a distress call regarding the discovery of Mr. Wang's lifeless body within his office premises. Preliminary findings revealed that the deceased suffered fatal stab wounds to the chest. Adejobi explained that the arrest followed a meticulously coordinated, intelligence-driven operation. Adejobi disclosed that the Nigerian Police Force Technical Intelligence Unit was deployed to support the Ogun State Criminal Investigation Department Ilewero to aid the investigation. Investigators discovered that two factory workers suspected to be in a romantic relationship exploited reduced staffing on the day of the incident. Odutola added, and I quote, "While on overtime duty, they allegedly disabled the company's security system, unlawfully accessed Mr. Wang's office, and committed a fatal attack. They subsequently hold the keys to his residence, which they later burgled before fleeing the state with stolen cash." Following several weeks of surveillance and tactical coordination, operators from the force headquarters and Ogun, SCID tracked and arrested Abdullahi, 25, from Borno State, and Dalami, 20, from Taraba State on July 14 in Jos, Plateau State, where they were ID under false identities. The suspects are currently in custody and will be arraigned in court upon the conclusion of ongoing investigations, part of the statement out. The Ekiti State government has advised all residents to remain vigilant and adhere strictly to preventive measures against diphtheria in light of the rising number of confirmed cases across Nigeria. The State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Dr. Oyebanji Filani, said that although Ekiti had not recorded any confirmed case of diphtheria this year, the advisory was born out of the government commitment to ensuring that the state remained free from the disease through proactive health surveillance, vaccination, and public awareness. Here in Lagos, Lagos landlord flees after threatening to kill female students. Lagos-based landlord is on the run after threatening to murder a 300-level University of Lagos UNILAG student and kill the case with 5,000 naira. The incident occurred in the Igodo area of Lagos State and gained attention after the student posted a video of the threat on TikTok under the username @auraurel. In the video, the unnamed man posted, "I will kill you. I am going to use 500,000 naira to cover up everything. You are going to die. You are a rat. 500,000 naira will settle everything." During the threat, another man was seen holding him back from physically harming the student, who made it clear she would not allow him to sleep with her. The student reported the incident to the police, and officers from the Igodo Police Division responded, contacted the police public relations officer PPRO Lagos State Benjamin Udain, stated she reported the incident at the station, but the landlord fled. "We're searching for him and will take appropriate action once he's located." The student explained that the socket in the apartment was faulty when she moved in, but the landlord refused to fix it and instructed her to charge her devices in his place. She also mentioned that engaging in appropriate conversations when she went to charge her phone for the first time. Market rose Tuesday as data showed China's economic growth met expectations, while optimism that government will hammer out deals to avoid the worst of Donald Trump's tariff threat provided support. Beijing said gross domestic product expanded 5.2% in April-June thanks to a surge in exports as businesses front-loaded shipments ahead of the U.S. President Steve Levis and after the superpowers agreed to work on a long-term pact. While the reading was slightly slower than the first quarter, it was in line with forecast. And survey incomes after figures on Monday showed exports sold more than expected in June, including a strong recovery in goods sent to the United States. Industrial output came in above expectations. In Sudan, a new wave of violence has erupted in Sudan's North Kordofan state, with activists reporting that almost 300 people have been killed in attacks that began over the weekend. The emergency lawyers, a Sudanese human rights group, says the paramilitary rapid support forces, otherwise known as the RSF, launched coordinated assault on villages surrounding the city of Bara, which is currently under RSF control. In the village of Shag Almom alone, more than 200 people were reportedly killed and either shot or burned to death in arson attacks. Looting raids in neighboring villages claimed another 38 civilian lives, according to the group, while more remain missing. On Sunday, the RSF allegedly attacked the village Hilat Hamid, killing 46 people, including pregnant women and children. North Kordofan has become one of the central battlegrounds in Sudan civil war, which broke out in April 2023 between the RSF and the country's national army. The conflict has devastated communities across the nation and created one of the worst humanitarian crises in the world today. Since the start of the war, tens of thousands of people have been killed and more than 13 million have been displaced from their homes, according to humanitarian agencies. In Somalia, Al-Shabaab insurgents have seized the town of Tado in Somalia's central Iran region, according to a military official. Tado is the key crossroad between larger urban centers. The town fell on Sunday after Al-Shabaab combatants drove out government-allied clan fighters, Major Mohammed Abdullahi told the news station. Somali lawmaker Dai Amin said at least 12,500 families have fled Tado and the nearby town of Mukokore, which Al-Shabaab captured last week. The group is advancing to other areas in the region. About 100 Somali soldiers have been deployed to reinforce the counter-attack led by local clan fighters. Al-Shabaab has waged an insurgency in Somalia since 2007 in an attempt to overthrow the country's government. The Al-Qaeda-linked group seeks to establish its rule based on a strict interpretation of Sharia law. Israel's military said it was striking targets belonging to Hezbollah's elite Radwan force in eastern Lebanon on Tuesday, the latest attack despite a ceasefire between Israel and the Iran-backed militant group. Moments ago, Israel Air Force fighter jet began numerous strikes toward Hezbollah terror target in the area of Bekaa, Lebanon, it said in a statement. The statement said an Israeli military operation in September 2024 had eliminated Radwan force commanders in Lebanon, but that since then the unit has been operating to re-establish its capabilities. Under the ceasefire deal, Hezbollah was to pull its fighters north of the Litani River, about 30 kilometers, 20 miles from the Israeli border, the Lebanese army and United Nations peacekeepers as the only end parties in the region. Israel was required to fully withdraw its troops from the country, but has come in 5 places, a deemed strategy. Talking sport, Lagos State is prepared to host the Festival of Table Tennis at Teslim Balogun Stadium, a 20-day celebration of the sport which will be running from July 16 to August 5, 2025. The festival will feature a lineup of prestigious competitions including the ITTF Africa West Regional Championships, WTT Contender Lagos, ITTF Africa Youth Championships, and the inaugural ITTF African Youth Cup. As one of the global hub of table tennis, Lagos is set to welcome elite players from West Africa across the continent and around the world for what promises to be a truly unforgettable sporting experience. The action begins with the ITTF Africa West Regional Championship from July 16 to 19, where regional champions in teams and singles events will be crowned. Copper Queens of Zambia head coach Nora Aptio believes the team is fully ready to face whoever comes next after the team sealed the spot in the quarterfinals of the 2025 Women's African Cup of Nations. WAFCON with a 1-0 victory over DR Congo last week. Forward Rachel Kundanaji's early free kick was enough to secure second place in Group A and extended Zambia's unbeaten run in WAFCON group matches to 7. However, it was the team's disciplined performance, youthful spark, and growing tactical maturity that left Aptio satisfied as she reflected on a successful group campaign. Zambia will face Group B winners Nigeria in the quarterfinals on Friday in Casablanca, and the Southern African coach is unperturbed about the prospect of the fixture, noting that to be champions, the Copper Queens must be ready to face any opposition. And that's it on Champion World News at 12. But before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. Former head of state Buhari to be buried in our residence. APC celebrating general leadership legacy of Buhari. From the foreign scene, we told you that Israel military says strike target Hezbollah's elites. From the exciting world of sport, we also inform you that Lagos is ready for Festival of Table Tennis. And with that, we draw the curtain on the news. Many thanks for listening. Don't forget to listen to us again at 3 p.m. for our community news in Pidgin, and also at 7 p.m. for our world news in Yoruba. I am THERESA Adeyemi. Good afternoon.